now joined by the captain of the Inniskeen team here, of course, this for the Guigan Builders Intermediate Football Championship of Matthew Kenna, chairman of the club, Brendan Meegan, and part of the management team as well, Pete Meegan. So Matthew, maybe I'll turn to yourself first. Captain, leading your team into a championship final, I suppose, an honour.
Yeah, it's a great honour. Any man that gets to lead his club into any kind of a final at all is always going to be a great honour, and it's the sort of thing that you've always wanted to do, and I'm lucky that I'm the person representing the team. So, but listen, there's 6 or 7 captains in the team that's there, a lot of experience, a lot of leaders, so I'm just the one that happens to have the C after his name on the programme, nothing else.
Right, would there be an expectation of you to give him a few words in the dressing room or when you come in the huddle in the middle?
Yeah, so I'll try my best. It might work and it mightn't, but I'll give a few words just before the kick-off and try to get the blood boiling before we go out onto the pitch.
You're certainly into this final on merit, so you are coming into it unbeaten, and particularly maybe if we reflect back on the semi-final as well, up against Carduff. I would have maybe taken Carduff, could have been favourites maybe going into that one, but you have come in and are there. Yeah,
listen, Carduff was a very, very good team, very big, strong, physical team, and they had the Banty over them. They were well coached. They knew everything about us coming into the game, and it took us a while to break them down, but you know, there's a lot of leaders on that team at the minute, and we stuck with it and we dug deep and we came out the better side of it.
Yeah, and obviously a real good test for you as well, and that's exactly what you want when you get into a final.
Well, that's it. You know, there was 6 points between us at the end of the game, but you know, I don't think the scoreboard reflected how the game itself went. There was probably maybe 1 or 2 points was probably all that should have been between us going on our first half performance. So, but you know, we'll take it any way we can. We're in the final where we want to be.
Exactly, and I suppose from a club perspective, Brendan, and chairman of the club, these are the days that you harker and look for as well, to be able to come as a club and contest these games.
Yeah, it's a great achievement, like, you know what I mean, to be in a final and to be in it against Inniskeen, you know what I mean. So we're well placed in the league as well. No, in general, it has been a great year for the club, and happy to be there.
Yeah, it certainly has, and you mentioned there about the opposition on the day, Inniskeen as well, yeah. And I suppose there'll be only maybe a hedge or a ditch between you up there at the best of times.
Yeah, it was just when I seen Matty and Francis there with the couple, like the two boys went to the same school, you know what I mean. So it's yeah, there's nothing between us, but there'll be a lot between us apart from the scoreboard on the final day, you know what I mean.
Yeah, a remark just talking on previous games that there's be a line maybe drawn, particularly when it is such a close local derby. There's a line drawn on the day for 60 minutes, and then that line's kind of lifted after all's over.
Yeah, well, you probably have to live in both parishes to know exactly what goes on there, like, you know what I mean. We could put any 15 out to play Inniskeen or Inniskeen to us, but they mean it when they're there on the field, you know what I mean. It's Inniskeen versus Inniskeen, no matter what way it goes, or Inniskeen versus Inniskeen.
That's the way it is.
That's
indeed.
The way it is, yeah.
And I suppose Pete, being part of the management team, you'll have a plan in place, or you'll be coming into it certainly with that element of confidence, as I remarked to Matthew, coming through it unbeaten here, and maybe from those on the outside looking in, this slight surprise package possibly not to have been expected. You obviously had the expectation of getting there, but maybe catching others off guard.
Well, we had, but at the same time, we wouldn't be happy with our performance to date in the championship. You know, we're hit and miss sometimes. Last Saturday evening, like as I say, I think in the last 8 or 9 minutes we scored 5 or 6 points. So it was only then that we put sort of Carduff away. Again, Clonus was much the same. We were winning 4 or 5 points, and they got 2 men put off, and we sort of fell apart as well. And we were lucky to hear the final whistle. There was only a couple of points in it, so we have a lot to work on it. I do think that Inniskeen are slightly stronger team than us. This is their second year. They've been in the semi-final last year, so they're back again in the final. And I definitely think we're going to have to up our game 70-80% if we're to win.
But that's probably not a bad place to be, in that you can learn lessons from that as well. If you were coming in maybe and had been comfortably coming through all games, well then it would be very hard maybe just to rise the team and have something to say to them. At least now you can channel something at them and say, listen lads, we need a bigger performance.
Oh, definitely, and the boys knows now, you know, that they're in the final. Like, you know, like at the beginning of the championship, we were just taking one game at a time. So we have got the 3 behind us. We're now in the final, and we know if we give 60, 65 minutes of a performance like we did in the last 10 or 15 minutes in Goduff, we'll be very close. But we are going to have to do that for at least 50, 55 minutes if we're to beat Donaghmine.
I suppose that's the words coming from the management there, Matthew, and that's something that will be directed to you on the day then as well in regards to the performance. That when you get to this level, it's no good doing 20 or 30 minutes of it.
Yeah, no, listen, as soon as we won the semi-final, there was no great cheers, there was nothing, it was just another step. We've got one more step to go, and we'll be going out to give it absolutely everything that we have, and hopefully it'll be good enough on the day.
And finally, does preparations change in any way now in the run into a final in regards to this, or it's just another game?
No. Listen, it's a double whammy. We're playing in an intermediate final, and we're also playing against Donaghmine. It's a very special game for both us and the Donaghmine players. They love playing us equally as much as we love playing them. So there's double the stakes on this final.
Bragging rights.
Bragging rights and a cup, hopefully, and senior football next year as well.